Greetings, everybody. Welcome to ImPowered Global LLC. We are ImPowered Women on tonight. We welcome each and every one of you. I'm going to ask that you really quickly start to share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff right now. Share. Everything that we talk about openly, positively, constructively, and progressively is something that can share and be a light to someone's life. And so we ask that you please share, because here at Empower Woman, we empower the movement. And so I just want to say to everyone and give you our mission again, it is to create and foster environments of full engagement that help encourage, build, and empower women, young adult ladies and girls to be excellent in everything that they choose to accomplish in life, regardless of their hurdles, regardless of their ethnic background, their any type of generational successes or failures. All that our forums, they foster spiritual, emotional, and social awareness that in turn will build unity, build community, build knowledge and self-confidence, which are essential. They are key as it relates to wise application for social, environmental, economic, and life skill success. And so I want to throw it out there again that Empowered Woman, we also promote social justice. And so tonight, we're going to be talking to, again, Sister Rukiye Abdul-Mutakallim, and we are excited to have a conversation with us, that she has come to have a conversation with us, and we're going to be talking about specifically about violence. We're going to be talking specifically about racism, and we are going to be talking specifically about fascism, okay? And so listen, I got a few statistics with you before I bring on the cast, because I know the cast is super excited to have this conversation tonight. I want to tell you about this. First of all, Americans were living through history in 2020 as the country was forced to reconcile the past and the present. And listen, CNN, my sister on CNN said that we, what did she say? We reconciled, excuse me. I don't know if we reconciled with it, but I know that we had to deal with something that we've been sweeping under the carpet for a long time. And it is violence and it is racism. And I got to also throw out there what my sister, the Rukiye, said is fascism. Okay. The COVID-19 pandemic, which many people considered it to be a great equalizer, it paralyzed the world, and Black, Latino, and Native American communities were among the hardest that were hit. We're talking about racism right here. Racist attacks against Asians in the US, that happened too, and also you think about it, jogging, bird watching, calling 911 while Black, it felt dangerous. And George Floyd's killing by a police officer, it shook America. Whatever made them numb to racism and police brutality, they were no longer numb again. So we talk about that. Then we talk about some statistics I got here. I got to throw them out there before we get started. Listen, these are valid statistics, okay? I got to put my glasses on. I got to say this before we bring the cast on, because I want you to know, think about this. You talk about violence. There's all kinds of violence. So we got to talk about it. Murder, manslaughter, homicide. Number of murders and non-negligent manslaughters in the U.S. in 2020, 16,425. California was the most murderous state in 2019 with 1,690. Then we talk about rape and sexual assault. Violence spans way above the obvious that we think about for violence when we think about gun violence. There's so many other realms of this violence epidemic, pandemic that's going on out there. And so tonight, listen, there's a whole bunch more. I'm not even going to talk about them. They're all here. There's a lot of them. I'm not even going to bring them up. What we want to talk about tonight, we want to be head on about racism, head on about violence, and head on about fascism. And what can we do as a collective unit of spiritual individuals, women, men, young, all across different cultures, to be able to fight this thing. Talk about what we feel when it happens. Talk about what we've seen when it happens. And not only that, most importantly, talk about progressively, what can we do? What can we do? What is the call to action? So again, we're excited that Sister Rukiye Abdul-Mutakallim is here to speak with us tonight, and we're going to have an open conversation. So where my sisters at? Where y'all at? There they goes. Hey, 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 I can't hear anybody. Y'all there?
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Assalamu everyone. The stars are out tonight in the sky. I'm telling you. If you don't see these stars, you don't see stars. Okay?
I love it. So, though our viewers, we're going to ask you, our viewers, our partners on social media, please continue to put your comments on. We're going to be looking for your comments on the side. We'll show them on the screen as you comment any questions you have. But we want to talk about this, okay? We want to talk about violence. From a progressive, what do we do to when I say progressive, I mean, what do we do to stop it? What kind of things can we do that are practical and applicable? Thank you, God. That we can do in our communities, in our homes, in our schools. Okay. In the grocery store, what kind of things can we do? How can we mentor? How can we come together as a unit to stop this, to stop it? Okay, we're not talking about slow it down. We're talking about stop it. Those numbers, and listen, those numbers are alarming. I printed them. I probably killed a couple of trees. Bless me, please. And I had to do some research, okay, about it. So I'm going to open it up for the ladies. Hey, Wendy Wynn. Hey, TP. Hey, Minister.
I'll close it.
Hey, Sister Rukiye. So let's talk. Who wants to get started? We have a question to put on the floor we want to talk about.
I wanted to say, first of all, I heard Sister Rukiye earlier today, and she was so fascinating. You just are listening in awe of what you were teaching, and it's powerful. And reaching children is the biggest thing. And when you said they're all our children, they're our future, and it's for us to pour into them. And I see that. I was like, I can love another child as if they were my own. You pour into the children because they're our future. And that's powerful. That's powerful. Teaching them and giving them the words and showing them what's going on and talking about it. It's so important. So important.
And I like what you said. They're all our children, right?
Mm-hmm. All our children. When you open up this question, it's so leading to people first having to freeze a moment, because that question makes you freeze. You're like, what can we do? Is there anything we can do? Mm-hmm. And moment you say that, pick up the mirror. Just pick up that mirror and look at yourself and ask, has something traumatized you that you can't think out that question? Something has traumatized you. So let's find out when it started. When were you the last happiest as a child?
Wow.
When I have a session that I do with people who've been traumatized. I do a one-on-one, and that's the where I take them back to. It's a simple 101 on psychology, but the problem with our psychologists arena.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm going to be nice now. Remember, go forward with no intent to harm.
Right.
With that arena, it's been put in a matter of, it's become money rather than concerned with the person. So though they have some really great techniques, the techniques are on a timer because it's about making the money. I don't have a timer like that. You're sent to my door. We've got to talk to you to help you start healing, because each person that heals affects 10 other people. Mm-hmm. That's marketing 101.
Wow, that's that whole layers of influence. You're right. That is marketing one. That
is marketing 101.
So each person is going to affect. Yeah, write that down. Somebody put that in comments.
That's right. And those 10 people will tell 10 other people, and 10 tell other people. So make sure when you say what you say, walk that walk and talk that talk, because you're affecting a lot of people.
Right.
Just by touching one. And I think of our sister here, TP, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to put her site on our page so people will start, when they do start traveling, they will give her a buzz. Right. Because I know that she's got a spiritualness about her that cares. It's not just about the fulus, the money.
That's right.
So I take the person and I ask them to look in the mirror and look back when you were the happiest as a child. Now, once you can locate that time frame in your life, that's when your pain began after that. And you did not come and you didn't stop and heal that. So you're still back there, even though you look like an adult and you're trying to handle adult situations.
Yeah.
You're not getting ahead with it because I'm sorry, I'm taking up time, but it really, this is so cool. It's so cool. Think about it this way. When you cut your finger, you cut in the kitchen. I mean, I'll even do some cooking. I know it's not just microwave. I know that now. You don't just wrap up, take and throw it into the microwave. You do some. You got some cutlery around there, right? So you cut your finger. Now, how long do you feel that cut? How long do you feel that cut before you forget about it? Not until it what? Heals. Bring it. Say it again. Say it again. Until it heals. So every time you try to reach forward to do something, you hit it. You pull back. Every time then one day, if you've been treating it right, you reach out and it's not, and you don't even think about it. And you keep going and you keep reaching and you keep reaching. That is what trauma is like. Until you heal, you are still pulling back and you have not grown. I don't care what you look like on the outside. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to take us, if you want to be able to say how to better help someone, where did your trauma start that made you freeze when that question was asked? Yeah, because you had some trauma. Have you healed from it? And if you haven't, you got to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Myself. I can't unmute myself. Anyway, we can't effectively help others until we heal ourselves correctly as well. So you're right. I mean, going back to the example about the finger, I mean, you don't even really use it. You kind of run from it. Like you said, you don't want to touch anything with it. You want to keep it bandaged up until it's fully healed. You can't use it 100%. So you're absolutely right. It's almost like when we talk about putting your oxygen mask on before you put the oxygen mask on your neighbor on the airplane. It's the same thing. So we do have to effectively heal. You are so correct. And and you're right. What happened in our past that caused us not to call ourselves to action? There are some things that are preventing people from supporting others, from, helping others, from, let's take a little bit further, aiding others, outside of making someone codependent. Right. And so that's real talk. We do have to heal first before, we are able to help others. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, TP? I see you're in deep thought. You have to watch TP's facial expression.
My face is an open book, and I do not have a poker face. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head. And literally, I still have a thumb over here that I chopped off, and every time I hit it, I'm reminded that it's not always healed. So just for that. But and really, I mean, you made me think about myself. You honestly made me think about myself. Like, I had to think back at there are times in my life that I don't even remember because the things that happened were so painful. So it's like, and I mean, so I gotta move my toes out of the aisle because they're getting stepped on a little bit, but it's so true. It's so true. And I think about things like just I've been hurt before, so I don't want to help because I don't want you to help. I don't want you to hurt me like that. I don't want to get hurt like that again. And so in so many different areas, not just as a child, but just throughout life. Just period. So you just got I'm just over here in deep thought, just soaking it all in, all these words.
I love it. And we have to be healed to help others. There's so many people out there that need help. Those statistics that I just threw out there, It's alarming. And I know Sister Rukiye talked about it today. Just the what do you call the World Wide Web and the news, they make it readily available for us to see all the different crime and stuff that's happening out there. Yeah. And so I throw this question out again. Minister Kaylee, Sister Wendy, TP, Sister Rukiye, what kind of things, once you have healed, many of us have healed and we're still not doing nothing. I'm just going to put it out there.
That's true.
So what can we do collectively or individually in the churches, the synagogue, however y'all, listen, temple, community, the homes, the churches, wherever. I'm gonna throw it all out there as spiritual people. What are we doing? What can we do?
I would say, go ahead, Wendy.
No, you go ahead. You haven't had a chance tonight. Go right ahead.
You haven't either. You go.
It's on you,
Okay. I love it. Thank you, Wendy. I would say to your question, Evangelist, is that I think number one, as we heal, because I'm a person that doesn't believe that that we fully healed is all together. It may sound crazy to you all. I don't fully believe we can fully heal, like just be totally 100%. Yes, we can be happy, blessed. The joy of the Lord is our strength, but every day we combat different things. And so there may be different things that weigh us down. No, that doesn't mean we're depressed or we don't have the joy of the Lord, but every day is a journey. So I'm just saying it's a journey, it's a process. So that's just me. But I will say the number one thing you can do as you're becoming your best self in Christ is to know what you're put on here for. What are your gifts? Like for me, I know I'm children all the way, youth and children. So as I have to heal, and especially in my childhood, because I'm ministering to kids 7 days a week. So my childhood is something that I have to particularly work on and make sure I heal from, because I know that's what God has sent me on this earth to do. And so I think that knowing whatever your lane is, your spiritual lane is, that's key, because how can you be a resolution if you don't know where God has put you on the map to resolve? You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Yes. But you do snap.
Know your area of influence. God has given all of us an area of influence, and it's not just one. It's multiple. For me, I know it's multiple, but for you as an individual, as you look at yourself in the mirror, what is your area of influence that God wants you to be the resolution in? Because no, I'm not one to go out on the streets and be the leader of a protest. So that's not me. But I sure will go crazy for some kids. Catch me there.
I love it. You might have the kids make the signs, right?
Right.
I agree with Minister Kaylee, and I was going to say that you asked what can we do. There are so many kids that I have met in group homes. They don't have a mom or dad that's guiding them and teaching them or directing them. They don't have somebody coming to visit them specifically. Pick a child to mentor. The churches ought to be able to do that. With as many churches as we have, this religion that we talk about, why are the churches not organizing? Why are they not looking at the foster community? All of these kids with no parents, or these kids that have had parents that have put them out because they can't do anything with them. They're single parents, single moms. There you go. But this is it. Why is the church not addressing that? There's so much money that could go toward helping the future. They are the future, and they're going out here. The statistic, I want to add this. This is statistics on the children that are incarcerated, or the people that are incarcerated right now. Over 70% of them at some point in time have been in foster care. 90% of those on death row have been in foster care. 90%. So they're the ones doing these crimes. They're the ones of the young mothers. And they not. If you can't help the child, maybe there's a single parent you could help. If you can't relate to a child, maybe there's a single parent that you can help. Step up and help. Somehow.
I know we all got to say something. We all got to say something. We all got to say something. Okay, look, we all. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, Sister Rukiye, you want to go first?
You said you hit so many hot spots. Wendy, girl, you might as well have been Hank Aaron out at the plate. And the plate was full. All the bases were full. And all you did, they threw the pitch out. And you're like, I see this ball going all the way out 400 yards across over the fence. And she just rolled, wind up, and pow! And the crowd went crazy because you brought it. One of the things that I do is that I am also speaking about children being buried alive starting at the age of 13, girls and boys in prison from the pandemic of trauma that they got caught up into. Yep. All right. And their families were caught up into because no one really addressed it, not from our quote unquote religious flavor, or from any particular social flavor or political flavor. It was all about whatever they were feathering their nest and their purpose was, and they were not thinking about the community as a whole, right? So I'm fighting for that, and we got a bill passed from the Senate where they're no longer going to be able to bury those children alive. I was so horrified by that. And I spoke on the Senate floor here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I spoke on that committee, and I said, it equates me to my bone. It's a sin that we bury children alive. What are you talking about? You are the same that you were when you were 17, and now you're sitting here being 40. You weren't the same. So how do you feel that you're more privileged than them? You didn't get to choose who you are. You didn't get to choose your family. And these were children. So the bill passed. Then I talked about we are killing. I'm sorry. You're making a judgment call, a condemnation call on people who've been traumatized from childhood. And now because they're fighting back the only way they know how, and you keep putting them in jail, they come back into the same system because you're not really doing real rehabilitation. And now they've made such a horrible crime that you want to kill them now. Well, I spoke against that too. I said, that's wrong. Because you got 500 years. You didn't deal with what you put the people through. 500 years, and you haven't dealt with it. So don't say you haven't reconciled that. And it is a disease. Yes, I spoke like this and my face like this to the House representatives. And the House of Representatives are filled with a lot who don't think like we think.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The bill passed. And they are no longer, and it was signed in by the governor, no longer are they killing. Mm-mm. The death penalty has ended here in Ohio. We still got a long way to go.
Wow.
But we have to talk on it. We have to speak this truth.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, like I told you, Wendy, you opened up. I was like, Hank Aaron just got up to the plate. Is that it? Now, maybe you're too young to know Hank Aaron, but look it up. I know Hank Aaron. Right? And that's about steroids. He was knocking it out of the box, okay? So it is that we have to be honest with ourselves. Mm-hmm. You want to help? Don't say one thing and do another.
Yeah.
Walk that walk.
It's called character.
And talk that talk. For Minister Kaylee, she's working with children. She knows very important how the children will cling to every word she says and watch every step she makes. Mm-hmm. I have a trust in my heart that if she does it the opposite of what she told them, she's going to see it again, and she's got to straighten that out. And she will do it because she's influencing those young minds. Mm-hmm. They're like sponges, and they soak it up. So, ladies, be honest. Everyone that's listening, be honest. with yourself, then you'll start finding who you are. You'll start finding your real purpose because you won't lie. There are 3 things the old people used to say. 3. You want to hear them?
Yes.
Come on now. You want to hear them?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
If you lie, you'll steal. If you steal, you'll kill. And killing is not that of a gun or a bullet. It's killing the spirit of someone. And children are the most innocent of all. Why are we killing their spirit? Come on now.
You know what, too? You say a mouthful every single time. I love it. I love it. I love it. It makes us think. And I know I said for me when we talked at 3:00, it just makes me want to study more, research more, and just do more, you know? And when you said we're killing our children, you know, there's life after us. You know, our children are going to be here. And I'm not talking about just our biological children. I'm talking about, you know, their friends and their cousins and their, you know, everywhere. And how dare we not, you know, really desire, and not only just desire, but do help, you know, children everywhere. I mean, just by mentoring them, they don't have to solicit us to mentor them. You know, you don't have to sign up to have children in your home from an orphanage to help a child that's in an orphanage. You know, you don't have to have been in a shelter to go help women with children in a shelter. You know, I know that those types of things, when I started on this journey of activism and advocacy, I started and it was sparked because of the pain and the things that I had experienced and I had healed from. Okay. I want to challenge people who have not been through those things to take a stand. You know what I'm saying? Those people who have not, that you just have a love for humankind, you have a love for people, you have a love for yourself, and that you just want to be like Minister Kaylee said, you want to lean into your purpose. God doesn't wake you up every morning and let your lungs inflate and deflate so you can go clock in at work. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. And so, you know, how dare we?
I think being able to have empathy as well, because if we put ourselves in their shoes, those children that are in the orphanages or that are in the group homes, the older children that are never going to get adopted, they're just going to be released from the system, parentless and guidanceless. Put yourself in their shoes and have that empathy. And I just sparks in my head that the scripture where God says, what you do to the least of my children, you do to me.
You do to me.
When we turn our heads and we look away like it doesn't matter, it's hurtful.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I agree.
Years back, it's probably been 3 years now since I went to Haiti, and I was fine, y'all. I was fine throughout. You know, it's eye opening, but we went to an orphanage, and that was my breaking point right there. This is probably day 2. And I mean, we hitting it. We're up at 5 a.m. We probably don't come back to camp till 9, 10, you know, because it's all about serving. So we get to an orphanage and I'm seeing these children. And, you know, here in America, you know, orphanage is so-called nice, you know, whatever you want to call it. But out there, this is nothing but brick, open windows, open, you know, no windows exactly. It's just open, and they have their wooden tables and things like that. We're coming in with bags of shoes and all types of clothing. And this is the thing that tripped me out. These kids were smiling, just happy. I mean, so full of life. And I said, how dare I?
Right.
I'm upset. I'm upset about this. I'm upset about that. But they don't even have the bare minimum of necessities. And there's this joy. They're hugging on me. I will show y'all a picture right now. This girl, she took my glasses and she put them on her. And they're just happy. And I'm sitting up here like I'm bawling, and everybody telling me to get it together because, you know, anyway. But it is so important for us as a community of people to really hone in on our youth, these kids, your kids sitting next to you if you're watching, the kids that is down the street that you think are bad, whoever.
Yes.
It is so important and it's so precious because, like you said, Evangelist, when we're gone, you know, there's a whole generation behind us, and even though I'm the youngest one on here, there's still, I think about when I'm y'all's age and beyond, hopefully, God, that what impact, what legacy, what print am I leaving? What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I showing? Am I showing something that's worth living? I can care less if I make it on TV or whatever. What legacy am I leaving on these children's heart?
Right.
And what is my life showing? Because they are watching. And
They are watching.
we're so wrapped up in us that we miss it. So
They are watching. You were so right, Minister Kaylee. They are watching. They watch everything. And I don't know if you all have this happen to you as well, but my children, they remind me that they're watching. They say,
Yes. Oh, they're watching.
you said, and why do you want me to handle it that way, Mom? Because you did it this way. So what makes what you did different? And I can't say it's because I'm an adult or I'm older or do as I say and not. That's not how we
I'm the
leave
mama.
a legacy. Right. I'm the mama. Because I pay the bills around here.
So it's every argument.
Right. And you know, that is, I know when I talked to Sister Rukiye this afternoon, that was one of the things that stood out to me too, because when we do that, we keep that vicious cycle of, you know, we might even oppress our children and our family in our own homes.
Fascism is
Right.
really real. Fascism.
What that is. I mean, we keep it going. And so, you know, the legacy of don't talk unless you're spoken to, you know, those kinds of things. And, you know, our children grow up, they're not outspoken. And so they find other outlets, like you said earlier, Sister Rukiye, as it relates to violence. They find other families, which are gangs. So the gangs, you know, so you got all this, you know, circle of violence. And then the people who get paid to do all the research on this garbage, they go, yeah, I'm going to invest, you know, going once, going twice. I'm going to invest $2 million in another jail because it's a moneymaker. And so they continue to do this vicious cycle of, instead of healing, they keep putting a Band-Aid on it, on a tumor, and then they lift it up, pour gasoline on it, some more infection and germs on it. And I hate to get too graphic. I don't hate to get too graphic. I'm gonna get graphic. And then they cover it right back up again with the same Band-Aid. They never think of anything outside of that. And we are all part of that solution. We all have to be a part. And yes, that requires everyone in this podcast, that requires everyone that's listening, that requires the thousands of people that'll listen later. Just take a stand. It might just be one day that you do something. One day, if everybody, the millions of people do something, one day, 1 hour.
Can I add to that, Minister Evangelist?
1 hour.
All I want to add to that is, you know, okay, so when we think about the children, but we got to think about where does it stem from? Like, where does it stem from? So I think about single moms. You know, there are so many single parents out here. You know, you're raising your children, you're doing your best. You know, I lived in the projects with my kids, you know, initially, but you know, they are influenced by so many things around them. So I think, you know, we got to help those single moms. You know, it's got to be some men that kind of step in when the dad is not around to help them before they get to that point, before they, you know, I think about just where it kind of stems from. You know, I think about the single mothers and how it's just a vicious cycle. It's just a cycle that's happening. So.
But that's why we need more programs and why we need more things. That's why I was saying earlier, if we just, everybody spent 1 hour, Sister Rukiye, I see you. If everybody spent 1 hour a day, millions of people, this national campaign, like what Sister Rukiye has going on, that's an awareness project. So if that awareness project, and I think I'm giving you another idea, where you national campaign of a day of service, everybody, a day of stop VRF, a 1 hour of stop VRF. What will you say? What will you do differently? Call to action. Just like we celebrate Valentine's Day, that garbage. I'm gonna put it out there again. You know, we can take 1 hour, millions around the world to say something or do something that brings awareness to stop VRF.
Yes, yes, yes. I was going to say that these different organizations that are actually addressing the real disease, trauma, we need to really start doing that, saying, acting in those groups. Go do whatever you can do for that day or hour or 15 minutes or even 1 second to fill out the petition that says stop VRF. Ladies, how long did that take you to fill it out? And how much did we ask of you? Did we get it? No. Have you heard but one thing back from us? The certificate. Anything else from us? No. Why? Because now it has to resonate in your heart. Know where we are. If you're not going to do it with us, there's another group beside you somewhere that you need to go and say, you know what? I was angry at my neighbor next door because they let their dog come and crap on my lawn. But y'all, what I'm going to do, if it happens again, I'm not going to get angry. I will politely pick that up, take it to their door and say, please, can you please pick up this from your dog? If you have a problem, I don't have a problem. I will pick it up every time. I know that sounds like idealistic, but understand you can't get violent.
No.
You mustn't be vengeful. And believe it or not, and yes, I have done it. I don't tell you something I haven't done myself. I didn't have a problem. You know what? They pick up the stuff off the yard. I don't have a dog or a cat. I don't have time. I don't have time to give them that kind of attention. They need attention. But my neighbors, instead of being, they were just kind of shocked and like, wow, she's really nice. And they started making sure they picked it up wherever that dog went. But I didn't get vengeful. I didn't go and put it on the door and say little note. If you do this again, stop. That violence is in here. Stop it. I know that that's hard. Now you don't necessarily have to pick up feces. I mean, I'm the person that takes a little further beyond because I want to at least show them that this person next door to them has no intention of ever harming them.
Wow.
Ever. Okay? Ever harming them. So it was about just making a statement of love. And they may not have they may have let the dog out, didn't go outside with the dog. Whatever reason, maybe they were having a tough day. Maybe they were late and the dog needed to go and they had to get to work and you don't know. But if you put yourself in their shoes like Minister Kaylee did with the children, it melted her heart.
Yeah.
That's what you have to think about. And you're doing it for whose pleasure though? Doesn't he want us to be kind to each other?
That's right.
Doesn't he tell us again and again to take the higher road? You're talking about a ministry that happened with Jesus, alayhi salam, with the peace and blessings be on him. That happened for 2.5 years. He taught this to us, to all of us. Oh, don't you think I don't know him? So don't you even go there. You don't know me that well, okay? You don't know me that well. But inshallah, you will get to know me. But he brought this ministry. So why are we listening? Why are we trying to tell him what it is when it was given to you? 2.5 years of his life. Is he coming back? Yeah, we believe sure. He's coming back, right?
Yeah.
But it was all about you taking the higher road. When you could take the low road, you've been just fine. The dog crapped on your lawn. Killing your grass. But take the higher road.
Take the higher road. That's something
Take the higher road.
Take the higher road.
And that's
that
how
right
it
there
starts.
is a banner. Take the higher road.
That's how it starts with our families. If you can show kindness to your own nephews and nieces, but if you're unkind to your nephews and nieces, and then you go all the way over to the islands, and you're so kind to all of them, then you're a hypocrite.
That's right.
And you're not doing anybody any good. It's all about you.
Mm-hmm.
Cut that out. It starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right, ladies, let's take a commercial break really quickly.
That's awesome.
We're having to get back. Yeah, there we are. Cha cha cha.
And just in case you didn't know, that is Miss K right there.
Oh, I did it.
She's right there, Miss K.
That's awesome. I love that. I loved it.
Okay, Sister Rukiye. Speaking of which, yeah, they do deserve a lot of attention.
Yes.
This is how we need to think about each other. It's that kindness. We get to the four-legged ones. I see people so kind to animals, and they're throwing daggers or stones at kids. Are you kidding me?
I say that.
Wow, that is so true.
It's just bad. This is really twisted the wrong way.
It is twisted.
I saw something on a little advertising, which was great because it's talking about children. It's called financial literacy. Mm-hmm. Our children aren't understanding the use of funds, money, how the value of it, the real value of it, and the use of it properly. So the Musketeer Association has a literacy program for a financial literacy program.
That's on your website?
And you'll find it on the website. We have a little bit about it there. And this is all about education. We've been educated. It's time to be educated. And it starts at a third grade level for the children to learn about money. Because guess what? They're already learning about it the moment you turn on that TV.
Yep.
Or any other PlayStation.
Yep, that's true.
I agree with that. And they are trying to spend their money, their actual money in the virtual world for these little tokens. You get nothing back but more entertainment. Mm-hmm. Nothing back. But they think that's what I've got to have to survive. And I have banned it. I was like, look, no, you're not spending real money in the virtual world. I'm not going to allow it. But sign me up. I'd like to sign up for that for kids.
Awesome. And please visit the musketeerassociation.net. Please, please, please. And, I got to say it again. Also, please don't forget about Ms. K's academic. You saw that a second ago. And so make sure that there are so many different, businesses and initiatives out there to support our children's learning. Yes. And so you've got the website here for the musketeerassociation.net. And then you have Ms. Kaylee, what is your email address? Your website address, excuse me.
MissKays.org, MSKAYS.org, MissKays.org. Thank you.
MissKays.org. You are welcome.
And you can look forward to having all these agencies on our Musketeer page because all of them have signed VRF, signed to stop it. And so every agency or organization that signs gets to have a link to our webpage. that's the nonprofit ones. And for those who are for profit, if they do a monetary figure to just help us move forward, they also get a link, and they will get a plaque with a musketeer, one of our logos. And I mean, you will love our logos. So they get one of those to put on there, wherever they want to put it, so that people can see they are standing on truth, and they're standing as one, and they're all about helping this community. So if you do business with them, you're helping yourselves and your families.
I love it.
So we have to have that unity. I have to.
You have to. And I'm sorry, I'm getting there. I've got a few people that can't, for whatever reason, get on. I'm not sure why. And it looks like there's a comment. I'm not sure why they're not able to get on, ladies. So I was slightly distracted trying to, money, credit, investing, banking should be taught before age 13. Here we go. There, the comments are starting to come in. That's right. Money, credit, investing, banking should be taught before the age of 13. Imagine if we did that before the age of 13. That's another call to action.
Yeah.
They're doing it at the musketeerassociation.net. They're doing it with Ms. K's. Are we doing it in our churches? Are we doing it in our temples? Are we doing it in our schools? Are we doing it in our homes? You know, think about if we teach our children how to be an entrepreneur. We teach them how to balance the checkbook old school style. I mean, right now they can't even do math old school style. They're doing it some kind of new school I can't even keep up with. Let me just.
I don't even want to talk about.
I know you don't. Oh my gosh. Help me with your homework. Are you kidding me?
It's so interesting. And you know, you guys, Evangelist, I have learned that we have really been, especially the Black community, we have really been set up to fail. If you really think about it, you go to public school, especially, it's already kind of ran like a mini jail in a way.
Yeah, not like a campus.
And right. And we're taught to go to college, go through school, go to college, build up debt to pay back to the government that's helping them continue to do whatever type of shenanigans they doing. Then go to a plantation. Yes, a job is a plantation to me. Go to a plantation.
Come on, talk.
From 9, and I'm not knocking it, because I worked in English for 5 years and I learned so much. I worked in the school system, so I ain't knocking 9 to 5. I do that, and anyway, that's on the concept. But anyway, so work for somebody else's amazing dream from 9 to 5, and we're going home tired, stressed out, bringing work home, stressed out, making someone else's $1 million company be amazing while they're on the beach in Cancun or wherever they are.
Yeah.
And we're taught to just pay debt back from using a degree. Like this degree up here, y'all. I use it, but not how I should be using it. It's like we've been set up to fail. I came out okay with public school. You know, I feel like I'm all right. Private school, public school, I feel like it's up to the individual. You make the best of your scenario. You make it bad, you make it worse. It's up to you. Whatever you decide to do.
Your choice.
But it just feels like it's a setup to fail. Why was I taught economics my last year of high school? Here in Clayton County, economics is in 12th grade. And check this out, ladies.
You ready to leave? I didn't get into college.
But check this out. Economics and here in Clayton County, let's just change. It's almost been 10 years since I graduated. But if that class, when I was in school, if I failed economics, I failed 12th grade. That was a mandatory class. But in 1 year, really not even a full year. How many months of school? I forgot, whatever. It's not even a full year.
Yeah, it's not a full year.
You have breaks and stuff. They expect you to learn all this terminology, this, that, and the third, you know, for this certain period of time. And if I failed that class, I mean, you should have saw us. Everyone is freaking out, trying to figure out how we can cheat left and right.
We're teaching kids to cheat.
like you're throwing out these terms our last year of high school.
When you're
And
ready
it's
to go.
requirement. So it's like it's really like a setup to fail. Like I've seen some kids freak out, okay? Freak out. And so it's just amazing. Why not teach kids what stocks and bonds and what's net and this? Those terms are pretty simple to understand. Teach us that in math. You're teaching us what y equals mx plus b is. And I don't even use that formula. I'm not.
Tell us about y equals mxb. Why? I mean, where do you use it at?
I'm not in the grocery store trying to find the slope of my milk carton. Why? Why? Tell me.
All right. That's real talk. Wait a minute. Time out. Let me get my hands in the right place. Okay. To solve some of this, one of the things that I have had the privilege, maybe it was a favor from the Creator, being in two different worlds. A world that one did not teach even from the beginning of grade school about really the use of money or math or anything, how they intertwine with each other. Then I was in an arena where they do teach it, and they teach it from the time of 2 years old. Wow. And using an abyss on how to count. And it was a number sign. So you got to understand that all those little balls on there was money. 2 years old.
Wow.
So learning that process, and again, by the grace of the Creator, truly, I was able to bring my children to the table to help me do the bills. How many of us sit our children at the table and let them go through the checkbook with you and have all the bills there?
Come on.
Let them see how much money you're bringing in, how much money's going out, what's left. I never had the terrible twos. I didn't have the terrible 16-year-olds either. And when the money wasn't there, it was, Mommy, you don't treat me right. No. They already knew, we don't have it. Single parent. I chose to leave a situation that was very traumatic, had to heal from it, protect my children from it.
Mm-hmm.
But they came to the table with me every month to pay the bills. They knew how much money was left in the checkbook. I wasn't trying to keep anything from them. They started from day one. Now, my son, the oldest one, is a commander in the Navy. My daughter, who is the oldest, she is a IT guru. She turned down law school to be in IT.
Right.
She went for 2 years in law school, Duke Law. I'm a single mother. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Because they understood how to use money and how it was and what sacrifices I went through to make sure that the bills and they had food on their table and Mom wasn't running around trying to decorate herself unless there was extra money there for everybody. So they learned economics from the beginning of their childhood. You want to do some good, bring your children to the table.
Bring your children to the table. Somebody please put that in the comments, please. Bring your children to the table. And I gotta say this, me and Minister Kaylee are always trying to make sure that we, stay on top of things as it relates to the podcast. And I gotta say this, I gotta piggyback to what Sister Rukiye just stated as it relates to bringing your children to the table. Because our children are in front of those devices a lot right now, right? And so we're grooming them in the devices and this is real talk because I have children, young folk in my home. Okay, we're grooming them or allowing them to groom themselves in the only thing that excites them. It's not solid conversations like we're having right now. what excites them is the twerking. I'm being real with you. I got to go ahead and put this out there. Maybe we'll get a couple extra views with this. It's the twerking. Okay. It's the reality shows. Okay. It's the bloopers and blunders. We cannot stop this vicious cycle of ignorance and violence and fascism and racism if we do not begin to bring our children to the table and not only talk to them about finances, but talk to them about life and about relationships, how to deal with people, what are rules of engagement, how to handle it if somebody makes you mad. It's okay to have a disagreement with somebody. I mean, the very basics of life are not taught in school, and they're in school more than they are with us. So, sister, you said a mouthful when you said bring your children to the table. Yep. We have got to have those conversations now. And listen, quite frankly, we would have, 10,000, 20,000, 5 million views if we were talking about something other than this. We were just, Minister Kaylee and I were just saying that we could be, it tells us about our audience. If we had someone in here mooning somebody, I'm just being real right now. I'm on this thing. I got to get it out my system. Okay. If we had somebody mooning somebody right now, if I was a minister on here cussing right now, if I was on a minister getting drunk, we would have millions of views. That's your call to action. Not only bring your children to the table, we got to get to the table.
Yeah, you get this.
We got to get to the table. I do it for myself right about now. We got to get to this table. I mean, I'm not just talking to the audience. I'm talking to myself. We have got to get to the table. We're so busy, like you said, Mr. Kaylee, building everybody else's business. We got business in our homes. We got business in our communities. We got business in our churches, temples. We got business that we got to handle, because it's all fun and games until it happens in our home, until something hits us hard. You know what I'm saying? And then now, the whole game changes. So we have an opportunity to make a difference. I really hope and pray that, these podcasts aren't wasted. I really.
No. Don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Oh, I'm not going down with it. No.
The faith is that Absolutely. It will touch one person, you've touched 10. Yeah. You've touched that 10.
Somebody's been touched. Please shout out right now, please. We need somebody. We need to hear from one person that is touched. I need to see it. My heart. I'm just being real. I'm not, you know me, I'm not fixing to come on here and act like I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And my heart, I need to know that somebody is touched by this. Outside of this room, we know someone in this room is touched. We know that.
Help our sister out, because I promise you, even one of you respond. That puts such a light into her heart that she will do for the next 10 years before she'll ask this again.
I may never ask again if I can just get one person.
One person. Well, ladies, for me, with a group of people who are here in Cincinnati area, and I would say outside in in Indiana, there was a group of them watching about 8,000 strong this afternoon, and they sent an email. You should have seen this email. I read it to Evangelist herself, and she heard it. They were so thrilled with everything that was discussed this afternoon. And you now have their attention, and they're from a different walk of life. They're from a different walk of life. And now you have their attention, and they are going to be watching your podcast more and more, because what you're doing is telling truth.
Truth.
And as long as you speak on that truth, it is enough. It will be heard by the ones that absolutely want to live truth. The rest will fall away to the wayside.
Yeah.
Can I just share? There are people who want to comment, but if they're not members of or subscribers to the YouTube channel, it doesn't allow them to comment. Because I
Oh,
see people.
yeah,
My,
that's
We're
right.
not just on YouTube though. We're on both Facebook pages.
Well, I can't
I
see
don't think
Facebook.
unless you have an account with YouTube or subscribe to it, I don't think it allows you to. Because she just said she was trying to comment.
Who?
Someone I read personally, she said she's trying to comment, and it went to my phone and it notified me on my computer that someone's trying to comment. So I'm sure there are others who are trying to comment. Thank you,
I'm going
Karen.
on to the messenger.
Karen, thank you for speaking up.
So is she's a member? She doesn't have a YouTube account, is what you're saying?
She probably doesn't. I'm not sure, but I know that won't allow you to make a comment unless you.
As long as they are on Facebook, we have both Facebooks open and they are public. So they should be able to.
This is from Egypt. She said she can't get a comment on, but she's on the messenger. She can't get a comment on. Her name is Hagar. And she said, I can't get on. So you've got to know this.
Subscribe. Yeah, and I needed to hear that. Thank you so much. And I needed to hear that too, Wendy Wynn. We need to know. I mean, and you all should want to hear that, quite frankly. Each and every one of you should want to hear that.
She said, I tried to, but something's wrong. Something happened. Maybe they closed it in Egypt for me.
It's nice to know somebody from Egypt is listening around the world.
And Yashika said it takes seconds to create one. All you gotta do is create an account.
We got Turkey listening to us.
Oh,
Turkiye.
Wow.
When I tell you the Musketeers have reached out around the globe.
Wow.
We are, because this is his movement. We are all his tool, taking this message. And when it's time, just like the civil rights, look, when you saw it in the 60s, that's not when it began. I'm back from the beginning. Okay? And I'm telling you, we had no idea that by the 60s, late 60s, we would have people of all ethnicity standing arm in arm with us.
Wow.
We had no idea.
Won't he do it? Won't he will?
Yeah.
Yes, just keep absolutely bringing this. Snap the fingers, what you need to do. Clap the hands, but keep that high hope right there. They're going to reach that platform that you've set here for them because they want to. There's nobody else out here doing it like this, guys. Everybody seems to have an ulterior motive that has anything to do with bringing people together spiritually.
Wow.
And that's what we're talking about. I wouldn't have met you if I hadn't been talking this and you hadn't been talking this.
Wow.
It's not like I'm advertising out there. This is the first nationwide campaign we put out here on a heartstring budget. And I do mean heartstring. Budget to bring this truth, and we are we're not we are a 501c3 sponsor until we do our own paperwork, which we're working on. Okay, we're going to start now, but it allows us to be able to at least say to people, "You give, we'll give you a letter, so you can reclaim it however you want it. You don't want to reclaim it, you don't have to." But the point is, we didn't wait for them to give us permission.
That's right. Wow.
Stop waiting for people to give you permission to act right.
Come on.
You're supposed to do that yourself. We can clean our own streets. We can help our children. We must do this. And we can be the kind, even if it's just one neighbor, you show that kindness to. You hit 10 people, whether you realize it or not. Take that marketing 101 and put it in your life.
I like that. Put the marketing 101 in your life.
Put that marketing 101 in your life. Because believe it or not, it's in all the scriptures. So why are you denying it? You think marketing came up with this idea?
Speak that. Come on now. I'm about to give you a Selah.
Stop it.
Wow.
All right. So in the masjids, in the synagogues, in the churches, look, guys, come on. Do this. Come on. What are you waiting for? A tsunami of deaths? Come on, put it together. You see how that moves together? No, don't do that. Do this. Interwoven slowly and feel that tightness. You feel that tightness? Can you see the air between there? No, you can't. And try to pull it apart. Pull real hard. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's come
before
together.
you leave, you got to give us this pledge, okay?
Okay.
Because we're at the end.
But
give us this pledge. Please.
Everyone promise to do this. Go on to the Musketeer Association page, sign that petition, spread that word, and then on the Facebook, on the website, there is the pledge. So learn this pledge. Ready?
We're ready.
I pledge to stand forth as a constant reminder to myself and others to bring light, beauty, and truth, to unify, honor, and ignite a beacon of hope in our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities, and our nation. Wherever there is despair, hopelessness, oppression, injustice, fear, or humiliation, I will be that lighthouse, directing all towards safety and justice until all acts of tyranny reign no more.
Woo.
Not even for one of us. Now, all together, everyone says, one for all. Wait a minute. One for all and all for one. You ready?
Yes.
One for all and all for one.
Stop VRF.
Stop VRF. I love it. Oh, we should have said it together. You're right. Stop VRF.
We'll see everybody later. Catch us next week.